What's going on, everybody? This is Brian here with another episode of the No Stress Midwest podcast. We're on season 2, episode 4 right now. We are joined by Miss Shelby High. Shelby is joining us from Spain, so there's a bit of a time difference. You can see it's like super bright out her window, and it's 9 a.m. here. So I've got my cup of coffee, and I'm getting my day started on a high note. Shelby, how's it going?
I'm good. I just ate lunch, so.
Just ate lunch. Nice. What was for lunch?
It was like a cocido, which is like a soup kind of thing that they put lots of meat and stuff. Potatoes, potatoes. That's good.
All right. Did you have training this morning?
No, so we train in the evening. So we'll train tonight, yeah.
So you have training after this, or are you off today?
No, yeah, we'll train tonight.
Okay. So I know I'm jumping into it, and it's pretty cool because, well, when you're in another country, which I think is always awesome, especially for someone born here, and you've been very open with like going to all these different countries and playing, which I like. I'm really excited to get into. But before we get into all that, we're gonna take it back just a couple years to young Shelby here in the States, here in Lenexa, right? Lenexa, Kansas. What was youth soccer like? I know you were homeschooled, so I want to dive into that as well. But just kind of talk to me about where that passion started, why you started playing. Was there a mom or dad, brother, sister that got you involved? And then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah. Okay. So neither of my parents played. My mom was a swimmer. My dad did like wrestling and football. But
I see how soccer came from it. Yeah.
Right. I know, because they have 5 kids and 4 of us play. So don't ask me how that happened.
All right.
Yeah. So my older sister just started playing in like a rec league, and she's 3 years older than me, and I just always wanted to do everything she did. So I was like, I'm gonna play soccer too. So I did, and that's kind of just, I mean, we tried a lot of different sports, but that was just the one that I was best at, and the one I stuck with, and she did too. So yeah.
Okay. So you started playing then because of big sister. What club teams were you with? And I like asking people from the KC area because there's like so many different clubs that have been there and then have merged with this and that and have turned into this name and that name. So let's see if we can track it back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know like half the clubs anymore because they're all new or merged.
Yep.
So I started playing for the Comets, the KC Comets. I believe it's still a club.
One affiliated with the indoor team, yeah? Or no affiliate? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, maybe not. All right.
I'm not sure.
All right.
Possibly are.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, I was 7. My dad coached me then until I was around like 11, I think. 11 or 12.
All right.
And then I joined KCFC. For you like young people who don't know, they merged with Blue Valley Stars, so that's Sporting Blue Valley now. So then the year they merged, I played for Sporting Blue Valley for 1 year.
Okay.
My junior year of high school. And then my very last year, I played for Kansas Rush.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your path through the club soccer days. So when your dad was coaching you, was there a heavy emphasis on the open field tackles and how to bring down the person? Was that wrestling background coming into play at all, or?
Not so much. He did like a lot of research on like watching videos and stuff like that, getting his license, because he didn't know much. And he would bring in like trainers and things like that to help us out.
You're doing it right, or you did it right. That's good. That's good. All right, so you're playing club, and then you were also homeschooled, but then I saw that you were able to play high school as well. So talk to me, one, about being homeschooled, that decision, and then what high school did you play for, and what was the connection with that high school or coach, whatever?
Yeah. Okay. This is kind of complicated. Anyways, So my mom just homeschooled the 5 of us, which I really have no idea how she did that.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of patience. But yeah, she did a really good job with it. So I was homeschooled until I was like 14, I believe. I
Okay.
mean, up until then, we always had like a academy we went to twice a week, so we were never just, at
Yeah.
home all day just doing our
Yeah.
school. So my first year of high school, I'm a year ahead, I guess, in school than I am. So I could still play with my club team, but I also played with Christ Prep. It's a really small
Mm-hmm.
academy because they let you play for them if you're
Okay.
homeschooled.
All right.
So that's what I played with in ninth grade. 10th grade, I was at Olathe Northwest.
Okay.
Um, and then I got injured, so I wasn't able to play with them. Yeah, tore ligaments in my ankle. Uh, Junior, senior year, I was at Olathe Northwest, but also mainly at Johnson County Community College, doing like dual credit. So I wasn't allowed to do high school soccer because I didn't have enough credits at Olathe Northwest. So I ran track for Christ Prep, the small school, just
Okay.
to stay in shape, and then I just played with my club coaches, like boys teams. I just trained with
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
that's what I did for my last 2 years.
And who was your club coach? Dowda?
So Dauda, yeah, yeah.
So I think it's crazy because I feel like I remember when I used to coach club, I honestly feel like I remember seeing you train with his boys.
Oh,
With
wait, did you coach for Rush?
no, no. So I wasn't with Rush. I was with the club, a smaller club after. But I feel like
Okay.
I would always see you guys on the club or on the field right before us, and it would
Okay.
always be boys, and there'd always be this one girl there every
Yeah.
time, and I was like, man, who's this chick that's like not playing high school but playing with these guys? So I feel
Yeah.
like I might have seen you back then, but I don't know.
Probably me.
It
Yeah.
might not have been you, but I'm gonna bet just for the sake of this podcast, we're gonna say that it
We'll
was.
just say it was me. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that answer. All right. So then after that period, you went on to go play in college, or actually, no, I don't even want to get to the college part yet. I want to get to this Rush U17 national team, right? So what was that? Because I saw that on your bio, and I was kind of intrigued because I haven't heard it, but I feel like I know it makes sense in a way. So just talk to me about that. How did you get selected for it? What was playing for them like? All of that jazz.
Yeah. So it's just something they do. Like, they'll just take some of the best players from Rush all over, you
Hmm.
know, the U.S. and then they'll take them to play in like a tournament or a showcase. Um, I didn't get as lucky. I went to like I think it was Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
My younger brother got to go to like Italy.
Oh
Not
man.
really fair, but
And
yeah.
I mean Alabama, like Huntsville, Milan.
I mean, it's
I
like
kind
almost the
of like
same.
I kind of like if you close your eyes and just think really hard, think
Like,
happy thoughts.
yeah, I'll tell myself that
Yeah.
so I don't get jealous.
Eh.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
but yes,
So
you were there in Alabama, and it was just like some of the top players in that age from around
yeah.
the country. It was like a training camp. Where were the tournaments? Only in Alabama, or is that like the
Uh, that was one of the events I remember doing. It was just a tournament that we went to go play in.
okay.
But it was really cool because you meet people like that play for Rush from all over.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how they choose the coaches, to be honest. I don't even remember where he was from, but I just know they just randomly pick like some of the best coaches, I guess, for Rush as well. So
And that's
yeah, Dowda was kind of the one that helped me be able to do that. So
that's
yeah,
yeah.
it's really cool.
That is the homie, man.
Yeah.
He's been looking out for a lot of people here. So shout outs to him. So all right, so then
Yeah.
Shelby, after that you went on, right? You went to go play in college. So how was that recruitment process going to Union University, and how did you was club the big, obviously probably the big pusher for that, and how was your experience there?
Yeah. So since my sister played in college as well, she went to Emporia. My parents had a little bit more of an idea of like how the recruiting process went. So
Mm,
just a lot of emails, ID camps and things like that. I honestly I didn't look at any D1 schools or like email any of them. I knew I wanted to keep playing, but I didn't really want to play at like the highest level just
Yeah.
because I just wanted it to be part of my life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So my junior year of high school, I was really frustrated at the time, but it turned out being like a total God thing. So the year that we merged with Blue Valley Stars, I was on the first team with KCFC, but that was the year I'd had like all the two ankle injuries and the
Yeah.
fall
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So then I got cut from the first team to the second team. They're like, we'll just let you get back from your injuries and then see if you can move back up, da da da.
Yeah.
So I was just like really discouraged. But because I was on the second team, that's how the coach of Union saw me play. Actually, it was at a showcase in Arkansas, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so he saw me play there, and he was really interested. I'd never heard of the school. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this school? Why do
Neither have I. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
But
most people
that's not saying a lot. I haven't heard of a lot of schools.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
reached out to you, and you
yeah.
got. So that was your junior year. Now,
Mhm.
after that season of club, is that when you then joined Rush for that final
Yes,
year? Okay.
yeah. I think it was Hugh. Yeah, it was, and Chris Duke was my coach at Sporting at that time. He was like, "I really want you to come back for your last year. Like, I really like, you can. I'm almost positive you'll make the first team, that kind of thing."
Yeah.
But then I knew some girls on the Rush team as well, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I've had two, like my sophomore year and junior year, just soccer wise, was just really rough. Like I just wasn't enjoying it.
Yep.
Um, so, and like we knew Dowda, he coached my sister,
Okay.
and he also coached my two younger brothers actually. So at this point, like we know him really well. So
Right.
um, I ended up going to Rush, and I'm like really thankful for that. So it
Yeah.
was definitely the best decision.
Right. No, I mean, and I think that's really important, especially for those young players. Is it's the reality that the clubs are businesses, and they're gonna tell you what they want you to hear just to keep you in their club, right?
Yeah,
Keep you part of the team, keep the money in their pockets, because if they don't have players, they don't make money in those big club ways.
right.
So you've got to do the decision what's best for you when it comes down to it, and what's going to put you in the best position to not only be successful, but to have fun and enjoy what it is that you're doing. So
Yeah.
props to you on that. So, all right. So then you get to Union. What was the biggest transition that you would say from club, and we can even go with like your club team versus like playing with the boys team versus college? What was the biggest transition from their club days to the college?
Oh, okay. So I feel like playing with like I had a really good team on Rush, the girls team, and then playing with the guys definitely just prepared me, I feel like, in a really good way because the pace is just a lot faster. And
Mm-hmm.
when you get to college, the speed of play is obviously faster.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the hardest thing was just the physicality. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so skinny when came in as a
Yeah,
freshman.
I was looking at
Um,
your picture. Union does a good job of having every year's picture
yeah,
still up there. So I was looking at like just the progression of Shelby even to now. And yeah, you were
yeah,
a very petite one there. So
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So you definitely have to learn to like play hard and play strong.
Mhm.
Definitely helps if you can put on muscle. So yeah, I'd say those were the biggest differences I found.
And after college, like so well, I'll say before college, when did you realize you wanted to play collegiately? When did you realize you wanted to play professionally? And then uh and then I'll say when did you like realize that you could play professionally? Because I feel like, as a kid, like
Yeah,
everyone says like, "Oh, I want to play pro soccer." And yeah, like that sounds great, but then a lot of stuff happens before you can get to that point until you're like, "Hey, I really think I can play professional, so when were those milestones in
Yeah.
young Shelby's
Oh
life?
my God. Okay. I feel like when I was little, of course, I was like, yeah, I want to play for USA, blah,
Yeah,
blah. But then, I don't life happens. I just am
yeah.
playing for fun.
USA
Um,
USA is really, really good. And
yeah, I feel like I always knew I wanted to play in college, even though I had like some years, like everyone has times when they get burnout, I feel like.
for sure.
But, I just love the sport so much. I knew I wanted to play in college for sure. Professionally, that's good because honestly, like when I graduated, I thought I didn't really even think about playing professionally, like at all. It's kind of something that happened. I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if we talk about my time in Chile.
Yep.
Um, and it was really after my year in Chile that I was like, I really want to keep playing, and just I think realizing how growing up playing soccer, women's soccer in the US, how like blessed you are. And like how even if, you're not the best D1 player in the US, you can still be good enough to play professionally in other countries and things like that.
Yep.
So yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know if that answered the question.
No, it did. It did. Um, all right. So then, yeah, that answers everything. So after college, you went on and you started. Well, before that, you started playing with the Courage here, correct? Before or
That
was
was
that after?
after. Yeah, that was
After.
after.
Okay,
Hmm.
so what happens after college, right? Where's the first place that you take on? How did the opportunity come about? And just kind of brain dump on me.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a crazy story. So, I was a international business in Spanish. That's what I studied in university. So I knew after I graduated, I wanted to go abroad, just to
Mhm.
like gain some more Spanish fluency. That was my main reason.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Chile. I won't really go into all the details of how that all worked out.
Right.
Um, so I graduated in December, and then I was gonna be in Chile for about 5 months,
Okay.
from like February to July or something like that. And I was going to be teaching English, so that's what I originally went there to do. And I was like, oh, like I would want to play soccer, just for fun. It's like, I'll see if I can find a team.
Yeah.
So I just Google like women's teams in Santiago, which is the capital where I was living. And like one of the first teams to pop up is Santiago Morning, like their Facebook page. So I just messaged them. I'm like, hi, da 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 da. I'm
Right.
Shelby
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
America. um, I don't know why somebody actually responded to me.
But they did.
Yeah. So they're like, why don't you come like train with our team, like try out? Or
Right.
like, do you have any video? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea what this team was. I didn't know anything.
For sure.
Um, yeah, so I went to go train with them that week. So it turns out they're like, they play in the first division in Chile. They're like one of the best teams there. And I was like, oh, okay. Um, yeah, so I just ended up going to training. They liked me. They wanted me to stay, um, and like join the team. I originally wasn't really sure if I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
I was
Why
looking for
not?
something just like, I don't know, more chill, I guess. Wanted to travel on the weekends. I don't know.
Right.
Um,
Not be like the Division 1.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, all that workload and all of that for sure.
yeah. But they ended up convincing me, I guess, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
just play
why not?
professional
So,
soccer. Why not? You
yeah.
yank me, you talk me into it.
So yeah, so I ended up staying there that whole year. And so they're one of the smaller clubs.
Mm,
They don't have as much money because their men's team plays in the second division, not the first. Um, and they've been to the final. I believe they'd been to the final like 5 times and never won it and always lost. Um, so it was just a really cool journey and like getting to play with them the entire season.
yeah,
And like right before I left, was when we played the final. We got to play in like the National Stadium. That was really cool. I remember seeing like in the locker room like a picture of Felipe Gutierrez, who plays for Sporting, and I was like, what the heck? The world is so small.
I know that guy.
Yeah. So yeah, we played the final. We won.
So history. You brought history.
Yeah. It was crazy. I remember the day of the game. I was like, I think this is the biggest game of my life that I've ever played. It's fine.
So I got a question then. You win the championship, and what was the after party like? Crazy?
Yeah, it was like all week.
Yeah. Do they do like the parade type thing that we do here in the States, where like the team on the bus drives through and all that?
I wish, but we didn't. That would have been cool.
Yeah. All right. So then you played the one season there in Chile, and then you came back here to the States for a bit. And is that when you were with the Courage?
Yeah.
And then that was when, like, I think you came to one of my high school trainings or something. That
summer.
So that was that period. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then what was the thought process when you came back here? Because that was when you connected for a bit and started chatting about soccer stuff.
Right. So after I came back from Chile, I was like, man, like I really want to keep playing. That's when I just started working harder and like training harder, like taking it more seriously for sure. So I was like training with Dauda's boys teams. I was doing like some private training and just working on my own fitness, and then playing the WPSL season. I was just throwing emails and talking to contacts, seeing if they had anybody. So then I played with Casey Courage that summer, and then I was in Sweden from like August to October for like the second half of the season there.
Yeah, and how was that? Just a connection that you had made from someone else?
Yeah, it's funny because it's not even like somebody I reached out to. The men's assistant coach at Union saw my YouTube video for some reason.
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, are you like still looking to play? I have some contacts in Sweden and this other place. If you want, I can get in touch with them."
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that worked out. It happened last minute, but yeah.
Okay. So then, all right. So you go to Sweden for the back half, and what happens after that?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I think it just cut out.
Sorry, no, I said, so you finish Sweden, you finish the back half of the season, and then what happens after that?
Yeah, so I went there to play on a team. It wasn't professional, like they helped me with houses and stuff, but the contact there was like, hey, just come play for this team. I'll let you try out, like get you try out with other teams, why not? So I was like, I don't have anything else right now, so I might as well go.
Sure. Yeah.
The level was really good. It was a good experience. But like, just like nothing really went my way there. I had like a quad like problem injury that kept me out for like a month of like the small period of time I was there.
Right.
Like some of the tryouts went well. Like one team was like, yeah, we like you, but it depends if we ascend up a division. So we have the money. They didn't, just nothing really worked out. So I was like, okay. I had always like had Spain in my mind. Just because I've always wanted to go to Spain. In Sweden, they play kind of similar to how we do in the US, just lots of physicality, really direct, fast. But I'm actually like not that kind of player. I'm more like pass, touch, move the ball kind of thing. So I was like, I would like to try in Spain, just, the style of play is more fit to how I play. And I'd get to continue like practicing my Spanish, so that'd be cool. So while I was in Sweden, I'd applied to a teaching program in Spain just in case. And it actually got me like the city that I had a friend living in, so that kind of worked out.
Okay.
And then a girl from my university is also living in Granada, which is in the south of Spain, and she was playing on this team there. She was like, hey, if you want to, you can come play on our team. My coach has a lot of contacts. She would help you get seen, so like help you have tryouts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the short story. So then I ended up coming home for a month, getting my visa stuff, and then going to Spain. So, and I'm still here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's what brought you there now. But now, I feel like when you first went to Spain, you were in a different part than you are now, right? Because you were able to send me a Barcelona jersey.
Yeah.
I respect for that. But yeah, so you were on that team with your old teammate from the university, and then what did this? I know COVID came in and messed things up a bit. So then how did things happen? Like with the end of that season or beginning of it? I don't know exactly where you were from COVID to now where you are in Spain.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So.
And that's like seems like a lot, but that's a condensed.
Yeah, because nothing happened for like 3 months. Okay, so end of February, we were like mid-season, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Like I was interested in coming to Spain, but their season starts in August, so I was like, all their rosters are frozen.
Yeah.
You know, what am I gonna do? But luckily that connection happened. So yeah, I was gonna try out with teams, and in May, like after the season ended.
Yep.
Then like start of March, we were locked in our houses for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I left.
You were like serious. You wed serious locked. I was watching your stories, and I would like see Shelby like it was like the Chronicles of the soccer ball, and like we'd see it like, hit a soccer ball that came in, see how long she could juggle it against the wall, hit it over the wall. Oh man, yeah. All right, so yeah,
I lost it over the roof. By the way, it died. So yeah, it's a sad ending. Anyways, yeah, it was one of the strictest lockdowns, I guess, in the world supposedly. So
yeah,
we could leave once a week to buy groceries. Other than that, I was just in my apartment. But yeah, so that lasted until I don't know, mid-May, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So our season, luckily, we were in second, I guess, and the first two teams were going to have playoffs to move up a division. So they let us start training in June, and then mid-July were like the playoffs.
Yeah.
So first training session back was awful. Like I felt like I was 5 years old again.
Yeah. Learning how to do it all over again.
Oh man, it was rough. I'm sure people listening know what it feels like. Anyways, yeah, so we had the playoffs in July. We lost in the semi. Yep, to Sevilla. Tryouts were not allowed. Like my coach was like, maybe in May, like May we can get you tryouts. Then it was June. Then it was July when teams started training for preseason. You know, it just kept getting pushed back.
Yep.
And then, yeah, and then in the end, like the Spanish Soccer Federation was like not allowing any teams to try out. You know, they were just transferring players blindly. It was basically what was happening. And I was like, well, crap, what am I gonna do? I have like no connections, nothing. And so I like talked to an agent here in Spain, and then that's how he got me this offer here for this team in Guadalajara, which is really close to Madrid. I'm not in Mexico. I know lots of people like thought I was moved to Mexico.
Right.
I'm still here in Spain.
Okay.
So yeah, so I came here the very end of August. So I've been here almost 2 months now.
Are you a student that's struggling a little bit with the hybrid and virtual learning and looking to get just a little more help academically? Or are you a parent that has a child who's struggling to keep that same level of discipline and rigor that they had in the classroom at home? If any of these apply to you, check out No Stress Midwest Education. an academic tutoring service where we offer both in-person and virtual tutoring. One of the things that separates us from others is that all of our tutors are board certified educators in Kansas and Missouri in a variety of specialty topics and familiar with the latest curriculum in school districts around the metro area. We are passionate about helping students achieve their goals in the classroom and also committed to helping students build the necessary skills and tools they will need in the future to succeed on their own. Our team follows the latest guidelines from the CDC. We require masks for all in-person tutoring to protect both the student and the tutor. Our tutors will either travel to your home or meet at a predetermined location to conduct all in-person tutoring sessions. All we need is a space for learning, and we're ready to go. At No Stress Midwest, we truly believe in developing the well-rounded student athlete. No Stress Midwest does not tell you what to think, but teaches you how to think. No Stress Midwest Education, an academic tutoring service. For more information, visit www.nostressmidwest.com/education.
And season has started or going
Yeah.
started? Yeah, because you were telling me you've had 2 games so far. So even then, before we get there, what's been the difference from like the play in Chile to Sweden to Spain and even to the 2 different teams in Spain? Like what's kind of been the same or what's been different?
That's a good question. Okay, so I feel like in the US, like obviously the women's soccer is really good. I'd still say it's like higher than the other countries I've played in. But like the one thing I've noticed, like in Chile, for example, like because the soccer is so structured in the US, like the players I notice in like Chile and like Spain, they just have more like creativity because they start playing like in the streets or like with their friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the average player in like Chile or Spain can do like 100 more tricks with a soccer ball than I can.
Yep.
I would say Sweden is very very different. Like I said, very direct, really fast, really physical. So more similar to the US.
Okay.
And then my 2 teams in Spain, the level is definitely higher because I'm playing in a division higher now. And we're close to Madrid, so it's just there's a lot more teams, a lot more players, so the level is just higher in general.
Right.
If you're around this area, so yeah.
Okay. So you're just starting this season now. Any plans of staying another one? Are you looking at the next move? Are you not allowed to say because you're under contract negotiation? What's next for you?
I don't know if like anyone will even listen to this or if they'll even like I know the president speaks some English, but nobody else does. But anyways, yeah, so my goal is to just like have a good year on this team, and then look for one of the bigger clubs in one of the top divisions here.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
Staying in Spain though, yeah?
Yeah, I'd like to. We'll see what happens. If not, I'll have to look somewhere else and just, but I know there's still some time. So right now I'm just trying to focus on my team here and playing well. So.
Right. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to make sure that we talked about, and we were kind of chatting before we went live on this, I was asking about the club you play for there, if they have a men's side as well. And we talked about like in Europe, how most soccer clubs have a men's side and a women's side. It isn't this American stuff where you have the like Sporting, or not even Sporting KC, but Houston Dash and Houston Dynamo, or I can't even tell you the other one. Like, well, I guess North Carolina, they have it, but they're a USL. But what's your view and thought on that? Like, Do you think that clubs should be owned by and have a men and a women's side? Because you see, like the Manchester United, Tottenham, they're getting these American big name players to go over there, and I
Right.
think we're gonna start losing them in a bit. So, what's your view or thought on that?
Yeah. I mean, we've already lost like I feel like half our World Cup women's roster to Europe already.
Yeah.
I know part of that's like COVID and not really having a season here. I don't know. Um, I know it's also hard because the teams in Europe make so much more money. Like being here in Europe, I just get to see how football is just like everything to
Mhm.
most countries. Um, but I just like I see the structure of soccer and like women's leagues in other countries, and I just think that if we don't find a way for like women to play and have more opportunities like after college in the US, like other countries are going to surpass us. I really do believe that.
Yep.
Like that's why I've had to go overseas to like play because the WPSL, the semi-pro league, is great, but it's like 6 weeks long or more if you go to the playoffs. But it's not really like a real league.
Yeah.
Um,
Hardly. Yeah.
it's what lots of college players use to just like stay fit in the summer. Um, and yeah, so like after college, unless you make it to the NWSL, which I think only has 8 teams, 9 coming soon,
Right. So it's not
for
even.
the entire US, like that's a tiny, tiny percentage of opportunity.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm a big believer in a club having a men and a women's side, and I think that it's just good for the city it's in. It's good for the building a culture, building a family environment, building something that whether you have a little boy or a little girl, you can go to Children's Mercy Park and catch Sporting KC, men or women's. Right now I obviously understand that with all of this stuff, it's a business. So it all comes down to making money. And I don't have those numbers in front of me, nor do I plan on ever having those numbers in front of me. Um, but my thought process is that for whatever reason, they're saying the women's side isn't making as much as the men's team. Ticket sales, jersey sales, concession. I don't know what the thing is, but that's my view from the outside in. And I think that it's going to take someone who truly loves the game and has a passion for building a culture, a soccer culture, and also has a pretty big checkbook that can, afford to make those adjustments. But I'm all in favor for it. And I mean, honestly, as simple as like the first team and second team, like we had Sporting KC and then we had Swope Park Rangers. And I'm like, how do you have an affiliate team in your city not be two?
Yeah,
Right? And then they change it to Sporting 2. And then it's like this huge uproar. Oh my God, how can you change
right.
the culture of the club? I was like, first off, like it's only been around for 3 years and they don't even play at Swope Park anymore. So
Yeah.
like that's gone. And I just think it's something that being here in America and seeing how other sports are structured versus in other countries. And I think now is as good a time as ever there's all these documentaries on Manchester City, on Tottenham, on Leeds, all these where you can see what these European clubs are like and how it's an all-inclusive
Mhm.
men's here, women's here, youth academy, all training here. Everything is run under one. And on the weekends, everyone comes around to go to those matches. And
Yeah.
maybe it's wishful thinking or maybe I just need to move to Europe and and just be there. Um, but no, I think it should happen. I'm hoping that there's someone that listens to this or hopefully someone that's already a step ahead of me that's trying to make that happen. And I think when you get the first club here in America that has that,
Mhm.
the MLS and whatever the women's side, NWSL, or if they change it to the WMLS, whatever they do, I think they're going to see a huge increase in club support and in money and sales and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been wrong before, so you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like now's the time to do it. Like the woman just won the World Cup. Like I saw Kristen Press and Tobin Heath, their jerseys, I believe it was in like the first 3 days, sold more than like anybody, like male or
Yeah.
female.
Yep.
Like so it's not that if they think they're not gonna make money from it, I think you have to invest first and but I don't know. I don't know the numbers like you do either, so I don't
We're
want
just
to
two people
say no everything.
talking
But
about it. Two people here for the
yep.
Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Trust the process and sign up for No Stress Midwest training today at www.nostressmidwest.com/training. No Stress Midwest primarily offers training for soccer players on the individual, group, and team settings of all ages and skill sets. Our training is customized for the player, and our goal in doing that is to continue to grow the love of the game, build a personal desire to want to develop, and create the chance and choice for the player to play at the next level. We have developed a unique solution here at No Stress Midwest Training, showing our clients that you can have fun while still getting better. By creating a unique training environment customized to the player, we feel that not only are we able to get the most out of the individual by creating a no-stress environment, but we are also teaching them fundamentals that they can carry off the field and apply in their everyday life. Visit our website at www.nostressmidwest.com/training and sign up for your first session today.
All right, so Shelby, we've kind of gone through personal and we're up to date on where you are now. I also have some generic questions that I have some of my younger girls teams that I train and coach. They submitted a whole bunch of questions. I told them who I was talking to. They got super excited. Some questions I had to filter out because they were from third graders, so there are some questions I just did not feel applied. There are some other questions where I thought were spot on. So we're just gonna kind of go through a few of them, a little quick pace. But let's see what you've got, okay? So, what's your strategy on becoming a professional soccer player?
Okay. I would say more than like talent, most important is hard work. You need to work harder than everyone else you see, and your attitude. Like if you're coachable, that's really big. Because you can only control yourself, and your own actions and your own thoughts. You're not always gonna have like the best players, the best coaches by your side,
Mm-hmm.
But you can still learn something like wherever you're at. So those are the three things I would probably say are the most important.
Okay. What would you be doing if you weren't playing soccer?
Oh, that's hard. I'd probably just be traveling.
Just travel. Just
Yeah.
living the dream. All right. Cereal. Do you put it in the bowl before the milk or after?
I put the cereal in first and then the milk.
Okay. All right.
Whoever else doesn't do that, something's wrong with you.
Yes, we've had that discussion now, and everyone's in agreement. So I'm good.
Okay, good.
I'm
Cool.
actually nervous for the first guest that says they put the
Ooh,
in and then cereal.
you might get some hate mail.
Yeah, well, I might have to not release it or just say
Yeah, just like bleep out their
just retry that one. What tough roadblocks have you faced while playing soccer, and how'd you get through them?
I'd say one was my sophomore year of high school. I missed like basically the whole fall season because I tore ligaments in my ankle.
Yeah.
And then I'd finally gotten
healthy. Soccer? Did you tear it from playing? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was in a game. And then I was about to play high school soccer and then tore ligaments in my other ankle. So I missed the whole season. So it was just like hard. I mean, injuries are always hard. And so I would just say if you really love the sport, it makes you thankful for every moment you get to play. So I would just remember how much you love soccer, and if you really want to keep playing, then you'll go through the hard parts. If you're injured, for example, or if you're having a rough year,
It happens to everybody. So yeah. And the reason why I asked how you got injured was because I think it was like 2 years ago. My high school team, there was a girl who in the middle of the season gets injured, comes with a broken arm or broken collarbone because she was recording a TikTok and fell down the steps. And I was
Oh
just
no,
like
you're
I
probably
didn't,
so
yeah,
angry.
I was like, I didn't believe it at first, but no, it happened. So
I would just lie at that point.
you
Like,
have
don't
to.
tell people that's actually how it happened.
Yeah, you have to. Um, okay, let's see. Were you a good soccer player when you were in third grade?
They're great. I don't even know how old was that. I would say yes.
I
I
say
feel like I wasn't one that like blossomed late or early. I feel like I've kind of just been consistent.
middle there.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a good way to go, because the people that peak early, ones like they get used to that being physical or
Yeah.
being fast, whatever. And then when everyone catches up and they don't have that to rely on, it's well,
Yeah, for sure.
you don't hear about them anymore. Uh, who is your favorite soccer team?
Okay, so Sporting Kansas City. I mean, I've been going to their games since I was a little girl, since they were at Arrowhead and then the ballpark. And then Barcelona. I'm a Barca fan, so it's unfortunate that I'm living so close to Madrid, especially after they lost to
Yeah.
Madrid the other day, but it's fine.
Yeah. So did you wear your Barca jersey out during
Yeah.
the El Clasico? Okay. Brave.
Yeah, I regret
There were
it.
a lot of you.
It's fine.
Were there a lot of you that were out in your Barca jerseys, or was it just like you?
No, I was like by myself.
I like the support though. I love the support. All right. So what's like a pregame meal for you? Do you have one, or is it like maybe snacks? And then is ice cream something that we can consider for a pregame meal, or should we try to stay away from ice cream and pregame?
Okay. Look, I love ice cream. It's like one of my biggest weaknesses, but I would not eat it before a game.
Okay.
Maybe when you're really young, you could get away with it, but I still wouldn't recommend it.
All right, so no ice cream before a game.
If you eat it after the game, that's totally acceptable.
Boom.
Afterward, totally fine. Right. Pre-game meal is hard because now we're playing usually at like 12 on Sundays, and Spanish people eat lunch at like 2 or 3. So I usually just have like, I don't know, like oatmeal granola, something light for breakfast, and then go to the game. I don't really like to eat a ton before playing.
Yeah. Do you get nervous before games still?
Yeah, I still do. I think it's a good thing.
No,
to be a little bit nervous.
It is, and as a coach, I get those nerves as well, which sucks because I can't play. I just like have to stand there and watch. But I was watching.
That's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. But I was watching this Netflix documentary, and it was Doc Rivers, I believe, and he was saying that like that feeling you get is like something you should cherish and enjoy and run towards, because like not everyone gets to feel that. And like as much as I hate butterflies, I know that like, man, when those butterflies are there, that means like there's something that's got me up and going. And like I couldn't picture not having something that gets me up and going regularly. Yeah. That would, kind of suck, unless it's like when you propose, but that happens once and then
then it's over.
then it's over. All right, so did you play any other sports growing up? And there was a recess question here, but recess was at home with you. Yeah. So what sports did you play, if you did do any other ones?
Yeah, let's see. I did swimming for a couple years, basketball, gymnastics. I think that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a couple. Oh, I did track in high
In
school.
high school, right?
Last
Yeah, you
years of high
mentioned
school, yeah.
that. Okay. Um, what would you say is the best strategy for a third grade team to do a corner kick?
Ooh, okay. Is this 6v6 or 8v8? Real question.
They are eights. Eights
Okay.
or nines or 9v9, one of the two.
Okay.
8v8. Yeah.
Um, I mean, if you have a girl that can that has a leg, I would say you just do it normally. But I don't know, like third graders, how much they really had the ball, you know?
Well, so they're not allowed to now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like there's a certain age, maybe 12, that like you
Oh.
can't head the ball. You
Mm-hmm.
can't head the ball, or like you do, it's a free kick for the other team.
Oh, wow. Until what age?
I think it's U12 is the first year they can do it, or maybe U13, something like that.
That's
Which is kind
hard
of
to
weird.
change, man.
Yeah, and then I feel like that's worse because like they're not learning the proper
Yeah,
way to do it, but
yeah.
whatever. That's
That's
above
kind of
my.
hard because then you're like up until age 12, you're like avoiding hitting the ball, and then all of a sudden you.
You're just
But
supposed to like, oh, let me
huh.
put my head on this hard object.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't work.
Okay. Forget what I said then.
All right.
I would just say do like a short corner, maybe play it back to somebody from there that can shoot it.
Okay. All right. I dig it. Um, let's see. With your teams, how many days a week would you say you practice, and how many games in a season or in a year would you say you have?
Oh, okay. So we usually practice like 3 to 4 times a week, like four, and then we play every weekend from mid-October till end of May. We have like 1 or 2 off weekends.
That's a lot of games.
So however many games that is, I'm bad at math.
Yeah, I started doing it in my head, and then I realized that I'm not going to. That's
Yeah.
a lot of games. That's a lot of practices, a lot of training. Um, how do you stay motivated for it? How do you stay like going week in and week out?
hmm Oh, that's hard. I would say right now, just remembering like my end goals. And of course, like I want the team to do well, but I need to push myself even harder if I want to play somewhere else after this
Yeah.
at a higher level. Um, and just being thankful. I think like I know so many people aren't getting to play in a year like this, so just enjoying it because I know I play better when I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So
Yep. That's a good point. Um, all right, so Shelby, that brings us to everyone's favorite part of the podcast, which is picking your dream five aside. Okay, so I sent you a message, I think last night, which
yes,
was this morning for you, early in the morning,
yeah.
maybe. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I sent you just kind of prepping you. We're gonna have you pick four other people that you've ever shared the field or ever played with in your lifetime as like a dream team that you like to play with. And then I want you to pick you plus four or a new popular thing that you young people are doing or is taking a step back and becoming a manager and having five people that you just
Yeah.
like to be a part of. Maybe you come on as a reserve, late minute
Okay.
substitution.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, so I wrote them down. So the first for like the people that I have played with,
Yep.
the first one, her name is Olivia Schmidtke. So she's one of my good friends from college. We played together. She's one of those people that's like doesn't have to run all summer and then like still gets first in the fitness test kind of person. You know, like the kind of person you
Darn those
not
people.
fair, I can't do it.
Yeah, darn those people. I was not there either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's number one, Olivia. Number two, her name is Pancha. I
Punch.
played with her in Chile. She also plays for the Chilean national team. She's just a stud. She played in the midfield with me.
Okay.
And I just learned a lot from her. She just moves the ball really well. Number three is Borshella. Good luck like spelling these.
Yeah, I'm writing them down like phonetically what I hear,
Okay,
and then
okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
follow up with you, and you're gonna text it to me.
Cool.
But just say it one more time
Perfect.
so I can entertain myself with the spelling.
Okay. Her name's Borshella.
Okay.
So she's from Haiti, and I also played with her in Chile on my team, Santiago Morning. She was a forward, and she's just a beast, just like a goal scoring machine.
Okay.
She was also one of my good friends from the team there. And then my last one is my girl Georgia, who I played with on.
Hey, Georgia.
She
Yeah.
trained with you, right?
Yeah, I know Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh.
So those are my 5
So
for.
do we have a goalie out of one of those people?
Oh crap! I didn't think about that. I didn't know if we had goalies for this or not.
Yeah, I mean maybe you throw Georgia as the
We'll
sweeper.
just rotate.
Yeah, maybe we throw Georgia as a sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
Even though she might
We
be
could do that.
upset because she's like freaking scoring goals for
I know, right?
sport, that's awesome.
Maybe I'll like rotate in and out with her.
Okay, all right, I can dig it.
Well, that's fair.
She'll be okay. She'll understand. All right,
Yeah.
so we've got that 5. Now, let's get to the next one.
All right.
Who do we got here? And I want to see if one person can make, because there's one person that's been called all 3 times for the previous people. I want to see if it makes the appearance for the 4th.
Okay.
So let's see her.
It's very possible. Okay, so I have Marta from Brazil.
Yeah.
She was like one of my idols growing up, watching her in the World Cup. Tobin Heath, is that the one?
That was not the one.
Oh, okay.
One.
Am I allowed to put guys? Because I also wrote down some guys.
Yeah, you can put whoever you want. I had guys who put down girls for them. So
cool. Okay, so I put down Xavi because he's like one of the main reasons I'm a Barca fan.
Yeah.
If I could play with him, I'd die. And then I have Rose Lavelle.
Rose Lavelle. Ooh.
Yeah. And then if I put Rose Lavelle / Ronaldinho. So
Ooh, / Ronaldinho.
I might just put all of them and I'll just be a sub. I think that's better.
Okay. Now one thing we are still, and maybe we make a late adjustment here instead of Ronaldinho, is we find a keeper that we can use for the team. And maybe you sit.
I would pick Ter Stegen probably.
Ter Stegen. Oh.
Once he gets over his shoulder injury.
Ter Stegen. The German Football Association will not be happy with that. Neither will Bayern Munich.
No.
They love them some Neuer.
Right.
I like it. Ter Stegen. He's actually one of my favorite keepers as well, probably because he's with Barca.
Yeah, I'm biased. I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Shelby's Dream 5-a-side. We've had about a 50-minute talk, a little more just on the life of Shelby, how her experiences have taken her around the world, like legit to play soccer, which is like every kid's dream, or like every kid's dream. I think it's super awesome that you're able to find the joy and passion in the game, no matter where you go, and you take on every opportunity as a new one. I think there's a lot that can be learned from your story today. I'll make sure that I get more than just us to listen to it. Maybe you can share it with your parents, and I'll share it with my mom, and we can kind of grow from there. But no, Shelby, is there any final words or anything you would like to end in the podcast with?
Ooh, I don't think so. I'd just say, like, if you're looking to continue playing or overseas, I would just say don't give up and keep working hard. I think it's definitely possible. So that's really it. But yeah, thanks so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for being on. When I started putting the list together of who I wanted to get on here, you were one of the first people that I wanted. And then I remembered that we had a Barcelona jersey coming, and I was like, oh, Shelby's definitely going to be the one.
That's what sealed the deal.
The only player that are the only guest I have that's not here in the States, and has a very unique path on playing. So you had to be on. I'm glad you agreed. I'm glad we got this done. Good luck at training this evening. Good luck this season. We will definitely stay in touch. And that's all I've got. Everyone, thank you for listening to another episode. This is episode 4, season 2 of the No Stress Midwest podcast. You guys have a good one.